Over to you, Ndewo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fandi.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very much. I don't even know how you do this. Bless you, and I thank you so much for your services to the United States of Biafra people. And thank you so much, Honorable Christopher, for holding the fort while we all got ready to join. Again, today is the 4th of July, 2026. The American Independence Day, 250th birthday, 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And as many of you are fully aware, the United States of America is one of the biggest allies of the United States of Biafra. And as America celebrates this day, Biafrans are already also celebrating this day. I want to use this opportunity to remember our Onyendu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I also want to use this opportunity to remember our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. I want to also use this opportunity to acknowledge the United States of Biafra cabinet members, all the different people, different leaders, the state governors, all of them. I want to thank them for what they do. I want to thank them for their services to our nation. It's not easy, but we also want to thank everyone. We also thank them for what they do for us to ensure that this new nation that we got, no one tampers with it. I want to thank all the state commissioners for what they do, all the different country heads, the state heads, the cabinet members for what they do. It's not easy. But we are very, very successful. The United States of Biafra government and the people, we are very, very successful. We have declared our new nation. We are protecting that nation with all that we got. So today, we want to specifically remember the United States of America leadership. What good leadership looks like. And the cajole, the intimidation, the persecution of good leadership all over the world, not just in the United States of America. Because what happens in America is a replicate of what happens in the United States of Biafra. How the world order has changed, and make the world a very dangerous place by those who promote Islamic extremism across the globe. Those who promote and liaise and partner with the terrorist promoters across the globe. It is important to know that this has to change. And the one leader that has stood up to this criminality of the world order is President Donald J. Trump. What he has done, many will not do that. What he has done, many leaders could not do that. That is why the United States of Biafra is very, very grateful, more than grateful to Donald J. Trump for what he has done and keep doing to make the world a better place. Without him, millions of the United States of Biafra citizens would have been murdered by the Nigerian terrorist state, supported by the IOC, Islamic Organization. That is what they do. That is what they do. And they use their bribery and corruption and the money that flows among themselves to support the globalist agenda and the globalist terrorism and supporting the countries that support terrorism like Nigeria. How else could you define when Finland was prone to arresting a fine Finnish citizen, Simon Ebba, who was crying out for the evil of the globalist terrorist agenda, of the killing and the massacre of thousands of Christians in Nigeria? How else could Finland have been a victim to support the Nigerian terrorist state and arrest Simon Ebba on trumped-up charges? On trumped-up charges, which they used to silence him. All they do, silence those that talk about the Islamic extremism in the world. Their plot, the globalist agenda plot, including Britain, Finland, and some of them in Europe, is to silence them. That is why our Prime Minister Simon Ebba is in jail today in Finland. They don't care about making the world a better place, even though that was what they pledged to when they become a country, to make the world a better place, to protect human rights, to protect civil rights, to protect the freedom of speech, to protect self-determination, to protect international humanitarian laws, UN charters, African charters, Commonwealth charters. That is what these countries, including Alexander Stubb, pledged to. That was what Finland pledged to be a nation in the United Nations, in the Commonwealth. But are they doing those things they pledged to as we speak today? No, they are not. If they are doing that, Simon Ebba is not going to be in jail. Onyedin Nandekano is not going to be in jail. But because these leaders have deviated from those basic things which Donald Trump is telling them, you must revert to those policies that make you a nation, a free nation in the world. You have to revert to that. So as we remember the independence of the United States of America today, on this July 4th, 250 years, it is important for everyone listening to me to remember and act on the sacrifice and what it takes to build a nation where human rights is respected, where terrorism is not condoned, where people are free to express their opinions, where people have a right to self-determination. Those things that all the countries in the world, what they pledge to uphold when they become a nation, it is important for us to know that only Donald J. Trump, as we speak today, is one of those leaders that is living up to that expectation. Take this to the bank. It's written on stone. Take this to the bank. It is written on stone. That is why the United States of Biafra citizens, the 80 million indigenous people of Biafra today, we thank Donald J. Trump, his family, the United States of America Republican leadership for respecting those fundamental rights that make the world a better place. Unlike the Democrats in America. What made the founding fathers of America to leave Europe, to settle in America, declare their independence, and become one of the number one country in the world? Countries like China, they are following suit. But you cannot, that's why you have many Chinese citizens, children, they long to be in America, all over the world, all over the world. The younger generation, the Gen Z, all of them do a survey today. Many of them, I'm telling you, 90% of them, we prefer to live in the United States of America than anywhere in the world. Even China or Russia, anywhere in the world. Do a survey. That kind of excellence does not come overnight. It comes by a steady respect for that which is the foundation of humanity. Respecting those human rights laws, respecting the right of the citizens, respecting individuals that are present in a country to make the world a better place. That is why everyone today is happy for the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And it is remarkable that it happens under the leadership of Donald J. Trump. It is very, very important for every world leader to aspire to make the world a better place. You cannot make the world a better place when thousands of your citizens are murdered every day. When teachers are beheaded in front of the pulpit. When there's Christian genocide happening in your country every day. When your citizens are marginalized, subjugated, threatened, use Hilux vans to go to the quiet neighborhood of your citizens and take away innocent citizens that have not committed any crime. They've not committed any crime. But you send your militia, your military and police to go and take them away. What crime have they committed? What crime have they committed for you to intimidate them with AK-47 and send your military, Nigeria military, Tinubu, Christopher Musa, Yanko Juku, Peter Obi, Charles Soludo, Oti, Fubara. You send your military with AK-47 and Hiluxes to the quiet neighborhoods of innocent, unarmed United States of Biafra citizens in the middle of the night to forcefully taking them away. That is an act of terrorism. That is an act of terrorism being committed by those that proclaim they are democratic leaders, democratic presidents, they are democratic governors. Why do that? Why take innocent citizens away in the middle of the night when they are sleeping? You invade them with the military and the police that is supposed to protect these citizens. Tinubu and Bianco Chukwu, Christopher Musa, Peter Obi, they send these militias to the quiet neighborhoods of Biafrans that are sleeping peacefully and take them away forcefully just because they are United States of Biafra citizens, just because they do not want to reintegrate and stay in the same country with reintegrated terrorists that the Nigerian state brought into the country. So what crime have they committed? Why are you taking them away? Ezima has been taken away by Tinubu. Dominion is in the hand of Tinubu as we speak. Jerry has been taken away by Bianco Chukwu and Tinubu. And many others. What is their crime? I don't need to mention millions of innocent Biafrans languishing in different cells across Nigeria and in Biafran territory. No, I don't need to do that. Just one or two is enough for me to prove my case in the court where we file those cases. Just one or two is enough for me. And some of the Nigerian politicians think it's okay. It's just okay. You can undermine those things. You are campaigning for election in the United States of Biafra territory in 2027. You think it's just okay to just continue to remove them and kill them. As long as you are the governor, as long as you're a Senate member in Nigeria, no, not anymore. We will stop you. We are already stopping you. We will stop you with the last blood in our body. It's not business as usual. We will stop you, and we will stop those that you are shipping those mineral resources from Biafra territory to. We will stop all of you. It's a promise. You can get all the AK-47 from Turkey, from Syria, from Iran, from Iraq. But I'm telling you, the United States of Biafra citizens, the 80 million Biafra citizens, they will stop you and all of that. So as we celebrate with the United States of America today, on their 250th anniversary, let everyone listening to me today know that the making of a free world, the making of a civil nation, the making of a nation where citizens have the right to live does not come easy. It comes with a lot of will and courage. So I'm telling the United States of Biafra citizens to maintain the course. Just stay the course. We're already at the end of the battle. Recently, the United States of America has to withdraw their soldiers from that part of the world called Nigeria, and it is for the good of the Biafra people, because America cannot afford to lose one single soul in a country that reintegrates and rehabilitates non-terrorists. It is a policy of the Tinubu administration. So Tinubu and the wife cannot say they are not aware of the reintegration of non-terrorists. If he says that it is the Sokoto Caliphate that makes him to do that, then he needs to publicly go against that for him to prove his sincerity. If not, he is an accomplice. So let no one be deceived. When Tinubu come behind and tell you he is incapacitated, he cannot do anything. The Sokoto Caliphate is in charge. Yes, but let him publicly tell the world, tell America, tell Donald Trump, tell everyone that he is incapacitated. That see, the Sokoto Caliphate is the one in charge. Tell him to do that if he is sincere. And I bet you he's not going to do that. Not because the Sokoto Caliphate is going to kill him. But because he is part and parcel of that deal to continue to reintegrate non-terrorists into Nigeria, to maintain his position as a president, those terrorists they bring from the Sahel, all of them, Tinubu have told them to vote for him in 2027 as the next president of Nigeria. So do not be deceived. They reintegrate non-terrorists. Even terrorists have less than 1 year of being in that entity called Nigeria. They are allowed to vote for the president of Nigeria. Where is that done in the world? Where is that done? Where people that are not citizens have to vote for the president of a country. That is what Tinubu, Soludo, all of them, P2B, that's what they're doing. P2B is just a stooge of the British entity. I had a meeting today with over 300 indigenous Nigerian citizens from Jigawa State. And when they called, they were asking for my permission to support Tinubu Okwanso ticket in Nigeria. Innocent, ignorant Nigerians, indigenous Nigerians.
Sorry, do you mean Peter Obi Kwakwaso?
Peter Obi Kwakwaso, that's what I said, yes.
And you said Tinubu, please go ahead.
Sorry, Peter Obi Kwakwaso ticket. So they already spread across the whole Nigeria. And they called for my blessing. And I explained to them that Peter Obi is an evil person. That Peter Obi has contributed to the killing of thousands of indigenous United States of Biafra citizens. That what Peter Obi and Okwanso is doing is the British business to just make it look as if there's a group that is contesting with Tinubu. That is what Peter Obi is doing. I told them, no one among those 500 people should ever be part of anything Nigeria. Because Peter Obi and Kwakwaso, they are the same thing. And I was very, very happy of this meeting and what they've pledged to do and what they are going to do. I promise you they will do that. You all have to look out for that. They will do that. I promise you that they will do that.
That's a good one.
They were very, very happy they got this information. And again, after the meeting with them, I now realize that those of us in the United States of Biafra leadership, we must always make our time to educate those that are calling us in a very civil and understanding manner, because many of them do not know. You know what their leader told me when they called? They just told me, DPM, they are supporting, they want to support this Peter Obi Kwakwaso because Peter Obi is from me, from my part of the country, from the southeast. That is the only reason why over the 500 people I had a meeting with, they had over 5,000 of them scattered all over different parts of Nigeria that want to support this ticket. The leader told me, DPM, it is only because of you, because of me, that they wanted to support this ticket. And when I explained to them the evil called Peter Obi and what he has done to my people, right there on the spot, all of them, they did a 360 degrees. 360 degrees. And we're going to hear them very, very soon. In this next coming week, you will hear them 360 degrees from that. And they were very, very happy they had this meeting with me, because all along they were thinking that Peter Obi was working for me, was working on behalf of the Biafra people. That was what they thought about. That was what they were thinking until they talked with me. So we should always take out time to educate. One of their malams, their imams that was here, he told me, Dr. NGOZI, I never knew that this man, P2B, did this thing to your people. If he has known that all the campaign, all the people he has talked to in their mosque, in their different places about this ticket, I would just apologizing to me for doing that. But it's not his fault, because he didn't have the information until they were able to hear that from me. So, Biafrans that are listening to me, I'm telling you, just stay the course. You don't have to do anything extra. Just do that little thing which you can do in your own little space. This battle, we've already won that. You see this freedom that was declared on November 29th, 2024 in Ladi, Finland? No one, no country, no group can ever tamper with that. Not while the United States of America is one of the freest countries in the world. Not while Donald J. Trump is in power. No one can do that. Just say because it's just a matter of time. We're already getting a lot of tacit support from our allies. And when we continue to do the structures we are putting in place, the things we are doing will lead to the full public recognition of the United States of Biafra, not just from one country, from several. So let us just continue doing what we're doing while we continue to protect our people and our territory. Just continue to donate to this beautiful cause for us to build this nation. And we are already at the last stage of this battle. Thank you so much, everyone, and happy birthday, happy 215 years to America, and thank you so much, Donald Trump, your wife Melania Trump, Ivanka Trump, those of you that are listening, those of you that are following what we are doing, the Secretary of State, I thank you all so much for what you do, but privately to ensure that no one tramples on the right of a people to be who they are, and no one continues to kill any Christian population anywhere in the world. May God bless America. May God bless the United States of Biafra. Thank you so much for